Hi guys.
Hi.
Sorry,
Again.
had some technical difficulties there. Welcome back.
So do we know where we cut off, or are we just going over everything?
Let's just basically start from the beginning where we were going over what we got right and what we got wrong.
All right. So I changed my wrong to a half right with Caleb.
Yep.
With the hiding in plain sight and the pro-empire. It's just not because he was nobility, but because he was in the Solstice Academy, and we did get right that he did hurt/kill his parents.
Yep.
We said that he either killed them or badly maimed them.
Yeah. And I was saying that I thought he had something to do with the academy.
Yeah,
Whether
we
he
both
was
thought he
going-
had something to do with the academy. I just thought he was nobility,
Yeah.
And that's why he was doing the hiding in plain sight, and he was doing that.
Yeah.
But it was just because of Trent and the academy people,
Yeah.
which was a pro-empire thing. So that's where I was misread it. Couple things we got wrong. Jester, she got the package.
She did. Her mother is not a delusion.
Her mother's not a delusion.
Unless that was a miracle from the Traveler.
Yeah, unless that was something from the Traveler.
Because I thought of that when I was watching. I was like, oh, I guess Scott was wrong. And I was like, well, wait. Could be a miracle from the Traveler.
And if I'm right about who the Traveler is, that's something he would do.
Uh-huh.
And I still think I'm right on who the Traveler is.
Yeah.
I think it's Garmelli.
Mm-hmm.
And then we said that she would Bogart a second time the moat before giving it out, and she didn't do that.
Yep. And I think that's because she felt guilty over having taken the moat and not used it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was... I don't know if it was she felt guilty or Laura was like, shit, I'm never going to remember this. This is going to be another hunter's mark. I'll just let someone else deal with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Either way, whichever is the real reason she can pass it off as the guilt and be in character.
Yeah.
One thing I got right, I called last week, we were talking about the formations and you were talking about the tactics, and I said, no, what needs to happen is Ford needs to get a shield and get up there in the mix, because Jester is not, even though she has a high AC, she is a support, not an attacker.
Yeah.
And he bought a shield. He went and got the magic shield.
Although he agonized over it.
He did. But I'm going to say, I said that's something that should happen. I said,
That's
for
true.
tactics, I'm going to go ahead and mark that as a got right.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Let's see, what else did we call? Called family going. One thing that I'm not counting as a call because I didn't mention it, I had on my notes last week, but I got sidetracked by your mathematics, which I love your mathematics, you were going through the victory pit and the third level of its multiple, the CR, and I had thought, and I even had on my notes, the hill giant super angry. Was he more than that? Maybe levels of barbarian or something.
Yeah.
I thought, and I was like, well, no. Dan's pretty thorough about that. If it's just a fifth level, it's just a fifth level. Maybe I'm wrong, and so I didn't say anything. And then sure enough, he was legendary.
Yeah.
And I could have gotten another called right.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense because, like everything else, had been those in that CR range.
Right.
And if this is going to be the boss battle, he's got to juice it a little.
A little bit, yeah.
So in retrospect,
the other thing we got right, Harvest Close being the end of the arc, then end of the tier, then graduating to fifth level at the close.
Yep.
Which is exactly what happened at the end of the...
Yeah, I was like...
I was like, yep, we called that back when they were just hitting level 3.
Yeah, because we basically...
just before they
where our arc breaks, yeah.
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 A breakdown on it, reaction video to its release.
Yep. And one of the monsters in there is the Olive. And there, the stat block's right there. Exactly what Matt called it. When he said it's going to use this ability, it reads just like it happened in the show. And I was like,
Sif, the Thar, whatever his name was from Mordenkainen. So, little Easter egg there. Obviously, D&D Beyond support.
I don't know if we can call that as we got it right.
No,
reading
because we never said, hey, he's going to be doing this.
That's true.
But yeah, it was kind of an obvious grab. D&D sponsoring the show. Yeah. He's worked with them. They've made the Blood Hunter and now the Gunslinger official, semi-official.
Yeah, it's on D&D Beyond.
It's on D&D Beyond. You can, without even touching Homebrew, you can just say, give me Critical Role stuff, and you get those classes and archetypes.
Yeah.
So it's a whole separate section from Homebrew. So it's, I would call it semi-official.
Yeah.
At least as official as UA, if not a step above UA and DM's Guild, because that's UA isn't available on D&D Beyond, and this is.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's at least a step above.
Although there are probably more critters in the D&D audience than there are people who do UA stuff.
That's true. That's true. We're a pretty big community.
So, when I took my notes, I set it up left to right, top to bottom. I thought about doing alphabetically, but I was like, how they're on screen makes as much sense as anything. And I didn't want to, I don't know, maybe we can talk about who has the most. When we talk in order of the characters, but that would have meant that this would have been the second week in a row that Caleb is who we start with. And I didn't want to do that twice in a row.
Right.
So, who do you want to start with?
I'm good with anybody. Let's go ahead and start with Mollymock. I don't have a huge amount on him. He's first in my list. I did not put them in any particular order by screen or by he's just the one I put first. Big thing, he almost derailed Matt's story.
Yeah. And I was going to save that for the portion of the story and DM section at the end. But yes, he did. Although, like in my initial watch and when we talked on Sunday before game, I talked about how, I saw the sort of the oh shit moment in Matt's eyes.
Yeah.
When Molly is like, let's just GTFO.
Yeah, and he was pushing pretty hard for it.
He was. But he wasn't the first one to mention it.
No, he was not. No.
Not was.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes. Taliesin really almost derailed.
But Not was quickly swayed back to, well, let's stop with this person, let's stop with that person, let's think it over.
Yeah.
And Molly was just like, nope, that's a great plan. Let's just get out. Let's go. Let's move.
Yeah.
You never just dropped everything and left. Answer for me is no. I've thought about it several times, but I've never done it.
Yeah. So one of the first thing that I have in my notes from Molly is he did it. He got in and mixed it up. Moved into a flanking position, got advantage, and crit.
And then went down like it.
And immediately got knocked out.
Again, I'm sorry. Tough was a great call. Molly, you need to take mobile and get the fuck in and out.
Yeah. We're yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we're just
A little bit
frozen.
of technical difficulties. Screen froze. Thought we lost you guys again. The Blood Hunter, especially a dex-based Blood Hunter, with dex-based 2-weapon, you really need to be a skirmisher. You need to get in and get out because you're already spending hit points, not just current hit points, but max hit points. You're on your rights. You're already, anytime you need to amplify that blood maledict, you've got to lose hit points. You know, you're already fluctuating in the hit points too much to go in against something big and go toe to toe.
That's true. And I hadn't thought about him getting mobile.
You really need to. I think I mentioned that last week would be a good feat for him.
Yeah. Well, or the other option is for him to go into Rogue and go to Swashbuckler.
Yeah, that would be a good one too. Although,
well, because the thing is, with Swashbuckler, he get that sneak attack dice.
Right.
His damage per round.
But it all the charisma based stuff will do nothing because he's got a 0 charisma. He's got a charisma 11 charisma.
That's true.
So I think mobile is probably the better way to go.
Yeah.
Because then he can move in, hit, move out.
Yeah.
And he can do that. That'd give him 40 feet of movement, which means 20 in, hit you, 20 out. You can't do the opportunity attack.
Yeah.
You know.
And that'll work really well with their double sentinels that they've got.
Yeah.
Where the creature might try to disengage and move, but the sentinel still gets that attack of opportunity, and if they hit, their speed becomes 0.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
that's really
that's the way to go. From if we're gonna get down to brass tacks and tactics, and Ford did right with getting the shield and mixing it up because that puts them up there at that 17. Yasha and Bo need to be up there as the sentinels.
Yeah.
Ford needs to be that mid-range, jumping up close on the bigger things, staying back in Eldritch Blasting on the smaller things. Molly needs to be in and out.
Yeah.
Caleb and Not need to be back doing their range shit.
Yeah.
If we want to get to it, Ford needs to be up there a little bit more, and Molly in and out to trigger those sentinel attacks.
Yeah.
Although they can trigger, they attack Bo, Yasha gets it. They attack Yasha, Bo gets it.
Yeah.
So it's just going to go back and forth anyway.
Damn if they do, damn if they don't. Yeah. He continues to use Vicious Mockery, and I'm not going to bust his balls about it anymore. And largely because of one of the girls, when I was taking notes, it was Jester, Laura, how she was implementing her spiritual weapon is very roleplay heavy, and I think, well, this is how I'm interpreting it now for Taliesin, that Talison's use of Vicious Mockery is a role-playing choice. It's not a tactical choice.
I think it is. I think you overlook the tactics of Vicious Mockery. It's a low damage spell.
Well, and it grants this. Well, no, I understand what it does.
And especially now that he's 5th level, it's going to be doing 2d4.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's a save or not. It's a save or not. It's all or nothing.
His DC is 10.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, tactically.
Well, 11 now.
Tactically, I really like Vicious Mockery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the best one out there, but it's got good uses.
Yeah. If your charisma's high.
Well, I usually play charisma.
If your save DC is high.
I usually play charisma caster, so
yeah,
it's a great spell for people like me.
But no, I'm not going to bust his balls anymore because I think it is a roleplay choice. especially when they were in the dinner party near the end of it, and Bose is taking all the leftover alcohol, and Molly's like, "You're a trash person," like,
and takes the last cup of half-drunk alcohol and downs it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's vicious mockery right there.
Yeah,
So I was like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
And Molly, of all of them, was the most concerned right up front from the beginning. Like, they're going to conscript us to fight this war. We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And from the get, oh, I sent someone to go find you. He's like,
yeah.
Here we go. And he's like, we're not signing anything. Nope. Now, I still think...
Yeah, I think that whole conscription thing, I don't know. To me, it felt a little railroady, him dropping it at the end, because he really wanted him to go that way. Because he's like, I can't tell you about this unless you sign up. Can't tell you, please think about it. Well, they're not going to do it. Well, here's what it is. Let me tempt you. And I'm not judging. I'm not backseat DMing. I'm not trying to. But that is the most railroady we've ever seen that.
Yes. Well, and in the past, though, that 10,000 gold payday has been enough.
Right.
Yeah. Like dangling that huge chunk of change in front of them has been enough.
Especially at that level.
Yeah.
First tier, 10,000 gold.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing, Molly, let's just get into it. The college lifestyle trick. Getting 2 consorts, one of each gender.
Yeah.
One to give them a full body massage and plus extra interesting things.
The full release massage. Yes.
Plus other interesting things these days. And then someone to feed him and talk to him while this is going on.
Which I think my Tumblr fanfic version of that has something to do with them. Something to do with his tail and or horns.
Yeah. Kicking Ford. Well, not kicking Ford out.
Ford, he didn't kick Ford out. He was perfectly content with Ford being there, watching.
He probably would have let Ford join in.
Yep.
But my favorite part of that is he takes the leftover fruit, and who knows what they did with that fruit. Comes in wearing nothing but that tapestry, and this was not his plan. I'm pretty sure.
No.
This is just a great use of the tapestry.
Yeah.
Wearing nothing but that tapestry. I am your god. These for my bounty.
Yeah. Well, and he basically said as much when he came back to the table. He was like, "Okay, I know what I was thinking about it while I was out there." I don't think that was the reason he bought the tapestry.
No, that definitely wasn't. That would be a reason Sam would buy a tapestry.
Yeah.
Would be for that one-off.
Yeah.
Taliesin always has more. Now,
True.
Sam does play the long game, but sometimes that long game is just to make Vex wear a hat while she's flying on her broom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's all I have for Molly.
Same here.
Other than he hates being right about everything.
Unless we want to talk about level ups as we go through the characters.
I mean, we can. I mean, he didn't really.
Really, the only things he gets.
We don't know what curse he's getting.
We don't know what curse he's getting. There's several. He will get a new blood maledict, blood curse, which those can be very powerful. I really want him to take Curse of the Fallen Puppet.
Why?
What that does is you can use your reaction when someone falls within 60 feet of you. They go down. They immediately spring back to life. You get to make an attack with them, and then they drop again. If you amplify it, they stay up until the end of your next turn and get another attack on your turn.
Ally or foe?
Ally or foe.
Huh.
I really want him to take that one. That's one of my favorites.
That's
But the
interesting.
other neat thing, he gets the extra attack.
Yes. So he'll be attacking 3 times this time.
Big well.
2 with his main hand and 1 with his offhand. Well, it's assuming he goes into melee again.
I think he's gonna. I think we're gonna see him evolve into the skirmisher. The in and out.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. So who do you want to go to next?
I picked Molly. You picked the next one.
Just to fuck with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that plays into the trickster god.
Yes.
And one of the things that made me laugh really hard was when Matt's narrating the second fight. And she's like, how does he have so many spells? And Sam's like, because he conserves them.
Yes.
Which I had to stop and go back and listen to it. Like I had to, wait, what? Because Matt's talking over him when he says it, and he's not saying it too loud.
He's not saying it to the audience. He's saying it to Laura.
Yeah. But yeah, that made me laugh.
Yeah.
And she gave us sort of a half right, in a sense.
Okay.
When she asked where the politicians were.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they came out to give them their prizes, she's like, "For the politicians."
Yeah.
And she offers to de-stress the Storvustra. And I was like,
Presented herself.
Now, like I was shocked, especially because Laura is usually the first person on that train. And this time she's just like, hey, she didn't understand why they were giggling.
Well, I think she played that. I think she understood. So? I think she intentionally did it.
Okay.
Jester grew up in a whorehouse.
Yeah.
That's the terminology she knows. She understands it may mean something. She may not mean it to be, but she's just reverting back to, just like Laura said in the last talk she was on, flirting is how Jester knows how to open up to people. She doesn't intend to flirt. She's not meaning like, I like this person. That's just how she knows to show affection because it's what she grew up with.
So her verbiage is automatically double
Her
entendre.
verbiage is automatically double entendre, automatically cat house style. I think she did that intentionally to play to the character.
I can see that. But if she doesn't be careful, she's going to be working at the pillow trove, not just standing there.
Yo, yeah. Or she'll get kicked out for not. Yes. And she's got the fancy perfume now.
She does.
She could become the Ruby of the Empire.
Sapphire. She's blue.
That's true. The Sapphire of the Empire.
Oh, man, yeah. She realizes enough time has finally passed that her package can be there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, let's go. And now we've got this get anywhere free card.
Yeah.
I love the interaction between the guards and Caleb.
Yeah. You're both my cat. Funny enough, one of them is the first one they kicked him. I stared him down. Well, I hope Mr. Bigglesworth.
So, there's a couple YouTube channels that do animations and
yeah, you've shown me a couple.
Yeah. And
I haven't sought any out or anything, so.
One of my favorite is the introductory scene.
Okay.
In the tavern when Molly and all them are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, Knott's like, hey, they got money on the table. And Caleb's like, no, it's going to stay there. And then Jester comes in and starts talking to them. And then she turns and she says, oh, how much money did I get? And they're like, 17 silver or something. He's like, woo! And the way the person drew it was great. And on Thursday, Laura did it again. And I was like, okay, that has to be a catchphrase now. That's got to be her thing now.
The woo?
Yeah. And I think it was...
And I think it's funny because then she was wooing over 17 silver.
Yeah. It's 228 gold.
Thursday, she was hyperventilating over 200 gold. Because it wasn't the 5,000.
Yeah. And
Which again, little things like inconsistencies like that still lead me to think there's something delusional about Jester.
Well, I don't think she has an appreciation for how much money that was. Like, now she kind of does, because she has to earn her money. And she's got to risk life and limb for it now. Whereas when she left, from what we've heard of that journey out of her hometown, where she's blowing money out dressing horses and stuff.
Yeah.
And she wants to blow her mom's money to do that again for their horses.
Right.
I don't think, like, if it's her money and her blood that got spilled to earn it, I think she's a little more guarded with its use. And maybe that's just Laura bleeding in a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's her mother's money, she's willing to blow that on whatever.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting. It was interesting. I liked the fact that and then everyone's like, Knott's like, you have how much?
Yeah. That's a lot of money. For you?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, maybe she was testing the postal service. I wouldn't want to spend 5,000 over the mail because the people steal the mail. But Jester was like, yeah, that might be. And I really want Jester to write back, hey, got the 200 safely, send more. To get a letter, I sent you the 5,000. Someone stole 4,800.
That would be hilarious.
When they were making that conversation, I was like, I really want this to happen. Come on, Matt.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
In addition to the perfume and the 200 gold, she got a really nice letter, handwritten out, from Marion, her mother. And she got more paints.
Well, inks. Matt said inks, specifically. And
I thought he had said paints, too.
No. He said inks.
She said paints, though.
Yes.
Okay.
And Matt had to correct her. He's like, no, they're not really paints. They're inks.
Gotcha. I missed that.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if there's something arcane about them. Because there is a magic item. It is paint. But whatever you paint becomes real. But it has to be, I think it has to be like a mundane object. And it's got to be within those paints, I think you can paint as big as you want. But like Jester with inks on a page, anything that's the size of a piece of paper.
That could be dangerous with Jester. All of
yes,
a sudden,
but so entertaining.
Everywhere.
But so entertaining. So I'm waiting to see if that comes to fruition. She gets her if those are magical. But yeah. So Ford.
Well, since we're doing the level ups.
Oh yeah, level ups.
She definitely can take in and take Revivify. You think she's going to take Dispel Magic or Counterspell for the other one? The Trickster gets them both. Or are those both Domain?
Well, that would be Trickster.
Okay, so she's going to have those.
Yeah.
So what
if they're domain spells.
I believe they are. What do you think her other spell's going to be? Well, I mean, she can flip them every day, but what do you think is going to be her standard?
Spiritual Guardians.
Yes, and I want them to be like little wind-up soldiers or teddy bears.
Maybe. But I have a feeling they're going to be like hamster unicorns.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And and spinning lollipops and cinnamon rolls and all manner of other pastry just flitting about.
Gingerbread men?
Yes.
Gingerbread men riding unicorn hamsters.
Yes. Yeah.
With candy cane lances.
Yeah, but I mean, for the support class, it's hard to beat Spirit Guardians.
It is, yeah.
For damage control, like it ticks all the boxes.
The difficult terrain,
yeah,
damaging the enemies.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a good spell.
So, and that's my go-to when I play cleric.
Yeah.
At third level. Remove curse probably. At some point she's gonna use. Trying to think. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. We got another foreshadowing of a healer feat.
Yeah, the healer feat. Matt mentioned it again, mentioned how cool it is.
If she had it, even though they only had, like, a minute of downtime is 10 rounds.
Right.
You can heal, on average, at 4th level, like 110 points.
Yeah.
Of healing. So she could have just burned through their healer kits and healed everybody up to full.
I know it's late in the game, but I think we're definitely going to see her take that at 8th level.
Yeah.
It got dropped at the beginning of the game. It got dropped right after 4th level. Between 4th and 5th. I think we'll see it drop. The feat dropped at least one more time near
8th level.
Near 8th level, sometime during 7th level. And
yeah. Well,
because every time Laura's like, "Oh, I'll have to look at that."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we don't hear it again until Matt's like, "Hey, there's this really cool feat."
Well, until she asks, "Can I restore hit points with the healer's kit?"
Yeah. Well, there's this really cool feat. Remember when I told you about it? Right before you could have got a feat?
Yeah. Especially because Jester really wants to use her spells for damage.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to use her spells to restore hit dice.
Yeah.
And with the healer feat, it's an action to do it. So you can do it in combat.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah. And it
action
heals
economy
more than a healing potion.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. A 100th of the cost. Because each individual use is only 5 silver, and a healing potion is 50 gold.
Yeah.
So, like, for her, it ticks all the boxes for Laura. It allows her to heal without spending spell slots. It saves money.
Yep. That's it. Those are the 2 boxes.
Yep.
Save my spells for damage. Don't cost a lot of money.
Yep. And from a party perspective, the party can still look at her as the healer.
Right. Yeah, it's a great feat, especially if your party doesn't have a cleric.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially. Or especially if you're using the gritty healing.
Right.
But that's a digression. So.
You mentioned Ford.
Yes. So, I think it was Sam joked, "What are you going to turn into water?"
Yes.
And I was like, huh. I wonder. Do you think anything like that is in the cards before?
Turning into water?
Yeah. Or like a water elemental, or...
I don't know. My secondary invocation guess for him has to do, not with turning into water, but water. I've got one that I'm pretty sure he's going to take, and then the one that I want him to take if he doesn't take that one.
Okay.
The one I'm pretty sure he's going to take is the invocation that basically gives him extra attack that he's got to wait till 5th level.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking he would take. Thirsting Blade.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's one that does this. I know it's there.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Requires 5th level, requires Pact of the Blade. He meets both of those.
He's a Hex Blade.
Extra attack, especially if he is going to use that shield to get up in there.
Yeah.
He needs the second attack.
Yeah.
The other one, if he doesn't take that I want him to take, is out of Xanathar's, and it's Gift of the Deep, which allows him to breathe water at will, and once per long rest, cast water breathing without components. Water breathing can be cast on up to 10 people.
Yeah.
So for no spell slot, he can make everyone breathe water. And if they're going to the Menagerie Coast, he can breathe water already, and he can just cast it on the rest of the party and any NPCs they're dragging along on that episode.
It lasts 8 hours?
8 hours of breathing water.
Yeah.
And it, roleplay-wise, fits with his character.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't take, or if he wants to change one out, though I don't think he will, the two he has are amazing.
Yeah.
I don't usually do the Eldritch Blast invocations. Not that they're not great, but I don't know. There's so many other goodies in the invocations that I want to play with that are more my style because they're more centered around role play.
Yeah.
Rather than combat. Because there's not really much you can do role play wise with Eldritch Blast in like a social setting.
That's true. That's true. I think one of the reasons why he took Agonizing Blast is so that he is always doing the same damage. And I think that's one of the reasons why he hasn't been using a shield. Is because it's one less thing Travis has to remember.
Yeah, I can see that.
So he just knows if I'm using the Falchion two-handed, it's going to be a D10, and I've added my Charisma modifier and damage. Oh, now if I'm casting Eldritch Blast, it's going to be a D10 plus my Charisma modifier and damage. So he's always doing the same amount of damage, whether he's in melee or range.
Right. True. And I think that's why he struggled with the shield.
Yeah.
So that's going to drop to a D8.
Yeah.
And I think it was more not so much the consistency that he was trying to protect from, but it was the damage output.
Yeah.
Pure and simple.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop for a second and shut this.
Yeah. Good call.
Normally we do this before we...
But, so one of the things I wanted to talk about with Ford, and I could be wrong.
Okay.
But by my math, when they were fighting that ogre, Ford has a +6 attack bonus?
Yes.
+4 charisma.
+4 charisma,
+2
+2 proficiency. It's now +7, but that's at the level up at the end of the episode.
Well, okay.
But with the falchion, the falchion is now the
Waste Hunter,
which was magic. I don't remember.
And I don't remember if that gave a bonus or not.
I don't.
Because not all magic weapons give a plus
Correct.
attack and damage.
And I don't remember if it did or not.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
But his first attack roll against the giant, the result was a 25.
Okay.
Post Hexblade's Hex. Which means he rolled a 19. Which means that should have been a crit.
Yes. And I think Travis just forgot that when he's got the Hexblade's Curse,
he crits on a 19.
He crits on a 19, yeah.
Now, if the Waste Hunter Blade has a plus on it, then he rolled an 18.
Right.
Or less. And I'm wrong.
Right.
But
I don't remember if it does or not. I'd have to go back and watch episodes. I'm not sure that they even said if it does.
No, I don't remember them saying exactly what it did. Because Caleb was pretty secretive about it.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing now. So
no, not right now. He's getting pretty open lately.
It's true. So one of the things that we've talked about before is Ford pushing other people forward to do the talking.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an interesting tactic at first. But now I'm beginning to wonder if it's something else.
Okay. What do you think it might be?
I think Molly hit close to it when Molly said, "Let the humans go talk to them. People like us stand out." And
human faces start to blend together.
Yeah. And we
had all look alike.
in last episode, we had a whole segment about Ford filing his tusks.
Yeah.
To not look like an orc.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
that was since childhood.
Yes. So, but while I've been saying he keeps pushing Bo forward, he lets Caleb go forward whenever he can, even though he has the highest charisma of the group.
Right.
He doesn't engage that charisma side of the mechanics when it comes to social interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because of that being bullied when he was younger. He doesn't want to be the face of the group. He doesn't, because I think in his mind, if he's the face, they're going to lose customers. They're going to lose prestige.
Yeah, yeah, that could be.
So I think that's why he's always pushing other people forward, especially Bo, the human.
I honestly hadn't thought of that because I tend to play high charisma people, and I tend to not always want to be the face of the group either. Yeah. And me, it's just more roleplay reasons. Just because you're a high charisma doesn't mean you have to be the outgoing, the upfront person.
Yep.
And just because you have low charisma doesn't mean you can't be the out. Yeah. Look at Molly.
Yeah. Well, and not.
And not. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You can be a high charisma and just be very into manipulating a few people behind the scenes, or not even that.
Yeah. One of the things that threw me for a loop with Ford is when they were at the Pillow Trove.
Mm-hmm.
He asked Matt if there were any items of value on the desk.
Yeah. And he was disappointed when there wasn't.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You think it's the pirate in him?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is... If it's the pirate in him, or if he and Matt had a conversation about the list of words
Yeah.
that he was given, and that maybe this is that dark piece of the warlock pact starting to pepper its way in to things, because we've never seen him even inquire anything like that.
Yeah, that's true. Although we have heard him say he'd be interested in learning from Not how to steal.
Yes.
We have had him say, hey, if you go on a mission, you want to take me with you, I'd love to learn from you.
Yes. And that does raise a possibility of why he was asking. And it was because he was asking to steal a present or not.
Could be. Why do you think he wants to get a present for Not?
I don't know. Mother's Day?
I
don't know.
Maybe he's given into that predestination paradox and wants to get a gift for Jester.
Yeah? Yeah, maybe.
It cost me hardly anything. That'll make her even happier.
So, that's all I have for him.
Yeah, the only other thing is he's going to get 3rd level spells. All his spells will be cast at 3rd level. Couple of things that means. Armor of Agathis is going to give him 15 hit points and do 15 damage each time someone hits him.
Yep.
3rd level, and he gets a new spell, and my money is on Hunger of Hadar.
Yeah.
Warlock spells is probably the best 3rd level that you can get.
That's true. Although that's one of those ones that can kind of screw the party if you're not careful with it.
Yeah.
But when he's got 2 sentinels in his party, that as soon as something tries to get out, nope, kick him back in.
I'm gonna, he puts it right on the edge of them, and they stand so that the people can get out. I'm gonna try and get out. Bam! Nope, stay there. Take more damage.
Which may give an argument for him getting
close.
No, the repelling blast.
Oh,
invocation.
Yeah.
Because he can be Hunger of Hadar, Sentinels, stop them, repelling blast. That would 10 feet back in.
Yeah. If the Sentinels don't stop them, repelling blast. Well, now you're back in anyway.
Yeah. So, but I think the odds on money are the Thirsting Blade.
Thirsting Blade.
Yeah.
I would like to see Gift of the Depths, but Thirsting Blade is the, I don't want to say right choice, but
he gets another one at 7?
7, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he'll get the Thirsting Blade or the Depths one.
Gift of the Depths.
Yeah. So, Bo. Marisha
really knows how to comfort a guy.
I have an adoration and frustration relationship with Marisha. Because she's really right and correct half the time and really wrong half the time. And she correctly ascertained her place is in melee.
Yes.
In the beginning of the fight, she's like, should I stay back? And Travis is like, look, you gotta do what you gotta do, but yeah, you should be staying back. Basically, was the interaction. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll throw a dart. And she's like, wait, do I get anything for a bonus? And he's like, no, you didn't make a melee attack. And she's like,
yeah. Which is huge, especially now that they're 5th level.
Yeah.
Because she gets extra attack, which means without spending a key point, she can hit 3 times. 4 with a key, and she now has Stunning Fist for a key point, so she can stun,
Stun lock. Yep.
which just even makes the Sentinel better.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Nope. Boom. Stun.
And now you're not doing anything next turn either, bitch.
Yep. Yeah.
So
yeah, she got that right, and I was like, yes, that's what you should be doing. But she failed. She caved into pressure, and I was angry at Travis. And then, after that glorious realization that she had, she mocked the giant's penis size instead of kicking him in it. Ladies, you will do more damage if you kick a man than mock him.
This is true.
And you will have his undivided attention.
Also true.
So I was that was just like, oh no.
And see, yeah, I don't know. I again didn't really read much into that. I saw the thing. I was like, yeah, you should be. The monk that I'm playing in your game when your daughter's up. I'm a monk. I have the mobile feat. That's why
Yeah.
I've become such a fan of it.
Yeah.
Because
Wow,
that little halfling with that 45 movement right now is just
no opportunity attacks.
no opportunity to. I'm in. I'm out. I'm in. I'm out. I'm
Difficult
in,
terrain
I'm out.
doesn't cost extra movement if you dash.
Yeah.
I'll spend a key point to dash as a bonus. Yeah.
I'll spend a key point, so I'm dashing, move up.
Yep.
So yeah, I can spend the key point to dash in the 45 feet, attack, and then use my move action to go 45 feet out. Because for the rest of the turn, the difficult terrain doesn't affect me.
Yep. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I think when we were in the castle fighting the giants, you got kind of frustrated with me doing that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, in my defense, I'm a strength monk, and I have a 0 dex, so my AC is 14.
That's true.
I don't want to stay up there.
That's true. But we finally get Bo agreeing and then taking Caleb to the library.
And this is where I started my notes on Bo. And I know she was playing the character, but it almost felt like she shorted Caleb time in the library. And I know they spent several hours in there, but would he have gotten more done if she hadn't been bitching about how long it was taking? And I'm going to just be over here digging my eyes out of boredom.
So I think that it's not just Bo in that regard. I didn't mean that. Unintentional pun. But it was also Molly putting a hard cap on the 24 hours that they're going to stay in the city and getting out. Because
and there was also Matt. Well, it's going to take you this long, even if you're a speed reader, to get through these.
Yeah.
Well, what if I just skim them?
Yeah. But yeah, that to me also it shows like why Bo became a monk and not a cleric or a wizard. Like,
yeah,
she can't stand books. That's why. And she even says to him, "You're not going to find anything to save the world in there."
Yeah.
Which I think she's wrong about.
I would almost guarantee that. And then after that, we go into. Well, actually, no. We went a little bit. That was after Caleb's talk. I'm not going to go into Caleb's talk. I'll save that for Caleb. But I'm going to talk about her reactions real quick.
Yeah.
First thing, Caleb, I'm going to tell you this story.
We're almost out of time.
Okay, we need to hurry. So let me go through this real quick. And her response to his story, dude, that's really fucked up. You know you're fucked up, right?
Yeah. Okay, I have a suggestion. We don't normally do. How about we end the episode on time, we come back after talks, and cover Caleb and Knock, and the DM side.
Golden. I'm good with that.
Okay.
The other thing, at the end of that talk, she's like, well, you were just talking to Nut about taking off in the morning. He says, well, that depends on you. Can you keep a secret? Like, yeah, I'm good at keeping secrets. Right after the beginning of that, she's like, hey, I told you a secret. And I also told Yasha. But you guys are the only ones that know. Well, I guess it's not really a secret anymore. She's good at keeping secrets until she tells someone about them.
That's true. Well, I remember the Knowing Mistress is about disseminating knowledge.
This is
not
true.
hoarding it.
This is true. But I just, those were the things I was like, really?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, so that's Bo. I guess we can hit the other three in the story.
Yeah.
Yasha, Nut, and Caleb after.
So we'll be back here and
Sam and Liam, it's going to be a good talks.
Yeah.
Which is great because we still have to cover Nut and
Yeah,
Caleb.
so we'll probably actually have some information from the episode of Talks to spice in. Which unfortunately means we won't be able to say we called it and they confirmed it on Talks. But we have our notes.
We can upload those.
Guys, we'll see you in about an hour.
All right.
And we're back. Part 2 of our only, thus far, our first part, two-parter. I
If you're
gotta
watching
say,
After Dark, don't worry. This will be on YouTube as one video.
yeah. Gotta say, I don't think they touched on anything that I was going to talk about.
They didn't touch on much for me.
No.
Let's go ahead and just start with Yasha.
Okay.
Because we didn't touch on Yasha. Honestly, I don't have much, but
I have a bit.
There's a bit. The big thing that I found interesting was, when they were talking about, because last week I was like, my big question is, how does she feel about the war? Does she feel endangered? Does she want to go?
Yeah.
And they touched on that.
Yeah.
And she doesn't. She doesn't care. Like, it's, really something other than me. It's not me or my people directly. It's these other things, so I really don't care.
Yep.
So, I found that an interesting take. Especially after the guy at the arm wrestling thing, Spider, was like, I know who,
Yeah.
I figured it was going to be more involved. Unless she's just saying that to not delve into things because she doesn't want to talk.
I think it was probably a deflection more than anything, yeah. Yeah, my notes. It seemed like she forgot to do her radiant damage in the fight with the
Yes.
giant.
Yeah, she did not use
Especially when she got those snake eyes. And I keep thinking that she has a fighting style, and she doesn't.
No, but I really can't wait for her to pop that angelic visage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was really hoping it was going to be in this fight.
She likes the idea of formations. So I had, when she said that, I almost had a fantasy of them drilling. And doing battle drills. And basically coming up with their own sort of X-Men danger room where they practice.
I was looking at it more as maybe she's a Kira Nerys type.
How do you mean?
The freedom fighter that's trying to put it behind her. but still passionate.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that was what triggered in my head.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. She caught the eye of the headmaster of the Halls of Erudition.
Yeah. She got to try being the front man of the group.
And Ikathon. I
Notice
don't.
how douchebags are always named Trent. Or Trent characters. But to be fair, a lot of times, most of the time, there's a character named Scott in a show. He's also a douchebag. So, if your name is Trent, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about Hollywood stereotype of us.
So one of the things that I was trying to figure out is, what did Ikathon cast
Yeah.
that she did, that he made her make a wisdom save?
Yeah, that's what I was...
I think I know.
Okay, what do you think?
Detect thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, that could be. Although that was a bad target, because like Bo said, hey, what'd you guys find out? That Yasha's way too honest.
No. So, surface thoughts, you don't have to make. That check is not made for.
Right.
Going deeper is why you make that check. So, he was detecting her surface thoughts to test her truthfulness. But I think he went deeper to discover her secret of the real reason she left.
Could be.
So, and Matt, as the DM, knows what that is.
Yes.
So he will be able, like, if that was the spell, then he knows. And also, if he's an enchanter, which I think he is, and of sufficient level, you don't know the enchanter cast the spell on you.
That's true. Any charm effect spell.
Yeah. So...
And if he's an archmage or headmaster, then he's probably high enough level.
Yeah. So yeah. They were talking, they were trying to grill Yasha. Well, she asked them if they knew what they were fighting.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting question. And seemed to indicate that she does.
Yeah, that she may, at least.
Yeah.
Or at least has an idea.
Yeah. And, interestingly, where Matt normally gives the lore drop on locations, Yasha gave the lore drop on a location and a culture for this episode. So her and Matt have been conversing on this.
Yeah, definitely.
For some time. So that story definitely will feature into her arc.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, that was, and that's the extent of my notes on Yasha for this episode.
Same. Not?
Not.
Yeah, first I'm going to touch on the flask, because I thought it was really funny for the opening of the show.
Okay.
It's the Austin Powers meme, where he's like, and it's, who taunts a giant? Honestly. And I just cracked up when I saw that.
Huh. Yeah, again, half the time I don't notice that.
It always makes me laugh, so I always look for it.
Yeah. Sam making use of his bonus actions. I think almost better than anyone, he keeps track of all that stuff.
Yeah.
And seems to be, like, every round he's making use of everything.
Yeah.
The bootlace prank paid off.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny and interesting, because when we get to the DM side, I have a question.
Okay.
For you, what you think. And like I said earlier, last hour, when Molly is like, the hard press, we need to get out of here. Not was the first one to say that.
Yeah.
But okay, so Not is interrogating Yasha and won't.
Yeah. Are you a Jorhasian spy bent on causing destruction in the Empire?
Yeah, and he wouldn't let it.
Promise you won't kill me, Hitler.
Yeah, wouldn't let it go.
When he said that, when she said that, I was like, sure, promise that. There's plenty of other reasons to kill him. You didn't do it because I'm a Jorhasian spy. I did it because you pissed me off.
Yeah. But I was trying to figure out, is she doing this to protect Kayla, or herself, or a mix, or is it Sam trying to pull backstory out that doesn't want to be given?
I think it's a little column A, little column B. I think he's probably trying to, because he's done the same thing with a couple other people.
Yeah.
But I think it is a protective thing, and you're hanging around my kid. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we've already talked about it in the Got Right, the story of Caleb killing his parents.
Yep.
And you mentioned this Sunday, and I thought the same thing. I had it in my notes because I start my notes on my first watch through. I print out my little grid blank and I write notes in it.
Okay.
So I have notes like from the first. If I don't take extensive notes on the first walkthrough, but I put down big reactions that I have to the first.
Yeah, usually I usually work on campaigns during the show, so that's what I'm writing at that point.
But he killed his parents. I'm his parent. And that kind of look did go over his face.
Yeah.
He was like trying to how do I reconcile this? But then at the end, she gets the whole story. He had false memories implanted. Oh, are you okay? It wasn't your fault. One thing I did note that they did talk about on Talks, so I can't say I called it, but I did have it. I did think it, as when I was watching, when Caleb says anybody can send a message through a wire. I was like, is Sam gonna get upset because he taught Caleb that?
Yeah. I didn't think about that at all. I thought he was just throwing out a cantrip.
Well, the two he threw out, the dandelions and the message, are the two most commonly used right now. So I think that's why he just threw them out. I don't think he intended it to be that. I don't think Sam initially, Sam even said he didn't initially take it as that.
Yeah.
But in my brain, I was like, she take it back. Is he just saying that they're, but I mean, she sees him as far vastly superior, and if he's saying he's nothing, then it makes sense that she's nothing too.
Yeah, I got a very powerful Goodwill Hunting vibe.
Okay.
From that interaction.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. Shut up. It's not your fault. Yes, it is. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
So I expect that dynamic will come up again.
Yeah.
However, the quote that I wrote down, the other quote, that I thought was exceptionally interesting from Knott's point of view, is she's talking about how he wears this painting as a mask.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, one day you'll get to take off your mask. You'll take off your mask someday.
Mm.
She wears a mask.
Mm-hmm. Going back to your polymorph theory?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's going to be part of it. It's a big part of it. And speaking of my polymorph idea,
okay,
the name that she has been asking about when Sam thinks that he heard it is the name of one of those wizards that Caleb muttered while they were in the library. Dolan Travoski
No.
or Doolan.
She said Doolan. See, when I was watching that, he said Doolan. Sam was like, wait, Dolan? And I thought it was because maybe Doolan and Dolan are brothers. And he thought it was Dolan and that they knew.
Sam was making notes.
Okay, I missed that.
That's who Not is.
Huh.
And we've talked about how Matt, this campaign, is weaving their backstories together instead of doing it one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and especially with sending them to the Menagerie Coast, it's clearly evident.
Yeah. So I think he's put that connection in so that Caleb and Not have a reason to go after the Cerberus.
Assembly.
The
one thing about level up, I know he doesn't really get any choices of what he's leveling up, other than spells I think he might get. I don't know, maybe not.
I think he gets one learned spell,
but it's the Uncanny Dodge.
Yes, the big one.
The one that he got super excited about. And the reason I think it's such a big deal is because she makes herself a target in her protectiveness of Caleb.
Yeah.
And now she's got that Uncanny Dodge to help mitigate that damage.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see that play a lot into the role play of her character. She's going to be even more step in front, protect my kid.
Can you imagine? Well,
and then take half damage.
If you look back at the fight that they were just in with the giant, she only got hit the once.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big hit. It was 16 damage, I think. Something like that.
But if she had only taken 8?
Yeah. And she hadn't been really hit for most of the combats that they were out there.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see her get even more proactive. Not that she's not proactive in that protector role in a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the one when Caleb fell early, and she's standing over Caleb holding back the imps.
Yeah.
You know. So she's always been that way, but I think we're going to see it even more because now mechanically she's more built for it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And the sneak attack goes up. That's always amazing.
Yeah. Especially when you're critting and you're doubling all those dice. So Caleb.
All right. First two things I want to say. First thing I want to do, giant fight. He pulled out 2 clutch spells. The first one is shield. Barely saved his ass.
Yeah.
And the second was that sleep spell, which he didn't think it was going to work. He said, I was like, that's not going to work.
I had a feeling it was going to work because I was sort of running a tally in my head of how much damage they had done. And I was like,
and see, I don't even
do
that in the games I play in, so I'm not going to do that when I'm watching this show.
That's true. But I was like, depending on how well he rolls, it might actually work.
Yeah.
And it did.
I was like, that's not going to work. Well, it might have. No, probably not. Chances are it's not going to work.
I love Travis's reaction to both of those things.
Oh, yeah. When the thing hits us, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's the first thing because that's the first thing that he does.
Yep.
The second thing is before we get into his exact story, it is very Jessica Jones type backstory. There's abuse, there's mind control, there's manipulation, there's survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
It reminded me very much, not so much, I mean, the TV show, Jessica Jones deals with a lot of that, but the comic character, and I've been reading comics for most of my life, since the 80s.
Yeah.
Really, really powerful hits in line with that, and I just like, whoa, this is heavy.
Yeah.
It's a heavier one. It's one that they almost didn't get to print in the comics because of the Comics Code Authority when it first came out, and he's now playing it for us, and it's a lot of fun to watch unfold.
Yeah, I thought it was. They joke about how they get accused of scripting things.
Yeah.
But it's because of moments like Caleb's where he's like, who's going to this party?
Yeah.
He's nervous about that before they get there. They get there, and he wants to get out and go shopping. He doesn't want to be there.
Well, and again, that goes back to the hiding in plain sight. He doesn't want to be where the people that can notice him have the chance to.
Yeah.
He's been doing that the whole game.
Yeah, and I think, like, the gift of the week was that moment when Matt says that name, and Liam just like, shit.
Yeah, Liam is literally doing something with his D&D Beyond on his tablet, because they don't say iPad. And he stops. He pauses. And, like, for a good 10, 15 minutes, he just, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. I mean, you don't see his mouth moving, but you can almost hear him saying, holy shit, holy shit, oh fuck.
Yep, and he finally uses his inn to get into the library, which we saw he was probably going to do last week.
Yeah, we called that. I do love how he starts it. So what's this about? This seems serious. Well, I'm going to tell you about the time I killed my parents. You want to know how I got these scars? I mean, come on. And the look on Marisha's face almost mirrored the look on my face when he made that statement.
Yeah.
I was like, huh?
Well, and
fuck, we got it right.
Yeah, and well, her face is just like open mouth, and
well, she does that side head to him too.
Yeah, and Sam was just like, what? Like he actually verbalized shock and horror.
Yes. And I think part of that was because he had established himself as the new mother figure.
Yeah. Which is why we thought, well, maybe that's going through her head. If he's already killed one mother.
Yeah. And I mean, I really think, and you mentioned it when we talked on Sunday, but you could almost see the wheels turning. How do I process this, both as me as the player and not as the character?
Yeah. We found out he has an amulet of non-detection.
Yes.
That he wears so that they can't find him.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't help when you go out and show off in front of them.
Win battles.
So it's only a matter of did they recognize that was Caleb or not.
Yeah. And it had been a long time.
Yes.
I mean,
10 years.
Longer than that, because he spent 11 in the asylum.
Yeah.
And then whatever length of time that he was out, I don't remember what he said that was, between getting out of the asylum and meeting up or not.
He implied that was within a few weeks.
Okay, and that was 6 months before the campaign started, so it's been about a dozen years.
Yeah. So someone asked about, does Caleb know where those other people are? And that, I did have a note in my notes.
I did too.
Because he says he fell in love with her.
Right there. And does she still work for him? I think Astrid probably may still work for her.
Oh, yeah. Well, they both do.
And it's going to come down to he's got to take out his love.
Well, so there's a few layers and a few ways it can go. Either Caleb still loves her, or Caleb associates her with the guilt that he has over killing his parents. And blames her in the same way that he might blame Trent.
See, I really think that he sees himself to blame, and he sees Trent to blame. I think he understands that the other two are victims as well.
See, I don't think so. I think because he can't see them as victims if he doesn't see himself as a victim.
I disagree.
He was a party to their murders, and they helped him.
I disagree because you can see a lot of times a lot of people who have gone through trauma, and it's a lot easier to see yourself not as a victim but the bad guy, even with the same actions seeing the other people as victims. It's not their fault. It was my fault. It was his fault. That is a very common thing, and I can say that from experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be either way.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go that way. I think he still loves her, and he's either going to have to deal with killing the woman he loves,